Welcome to Florist Review's online video that pairs with the technique department in each month's magazine. I'm Talmadge McLaurin, publisher of Florist Review. This month's design is all about Christmas because in the month of July, it's Christmas in July in Florist Review. And it's a formula design that most people can create very easily, especially works good for inexperienced designers who really need to know step by step how to make and construct a design. So let's start with the branch part, which is the initial part of this design. Branches, and these are artificial ilex berries. They're from Sullivan's. To add the sparkle to the ilex, I have taken some beads, and these are beads that are faceted, so there's a lot of little sparkle on them, and they have a hole for stringing, and I just used beading wire. This is actually a bullion wire. It's an Oasis product, and on this ilex branch, I'm just going to take it and wrap the ilex with the beads that I placed onto the bullion. Now with the bling added to the branches, I'm going to start the first step of the formula. That's taking branches of some kind. They could be branches for fall, they could be branches that have blossoms on them for spring, but this time they're for Christmas, so they're the ilex berry. And I'm going to put them into foam and just create a spray effect. All of these branches are radiating from the center of the bouquet. It's helpful when people design like this if they imagine that all these branches are as if they were being held in your hand. So the angle of each of the stems points slightly inward so that there's a center point where all of those branches are bound together. And that makes the radiation of these branches perfect. Now for the second step of this formula design, I am going to create something of interest at the base. The majority of the design is all up here in these great branches, but we want to add something interesting right down here for people to look into. So I'll start by covering the foam with some moss. You can just add that around. This is really thick moss, and so it kind of mounds up some smaller pieces in the middle between the branches. Now I'm going to hold that in place with some hairpins. These are just little pieces of stiff wire that have been folded over. You can use greening pins, but these work perfectly well. Now with the mossing all complete, I'm going to take some wood picks and some artificial apples, and I'm just going to add those in and around, kind of at random, sort of balancing them out. We'll create a little softening with some artificial evergreens. Develops a nice fringe on the edge of the design going over the lip of the urn. To top it off, I want to add a couple of birds, because everybody loves birds, especially red birds at Christmas time. So we have a nest here. I've taken a thick wire and I've hairpinned that. So I'm going to nestle this nest to the side. There we go. And I'll put just a little bit of glue right on the nest and a little on the bird. Perch them perfectly in place. And then I think I'll add another bird, maybe to this apple right here. So that finishes the formula design. First you have step number one, creating great branches, a nice spray of them, whether they be spring branches with blossoms or fall branches with turning leaves or berried branches for Christmas like we have here. And then the second step, creating a base at the bottom of this spray of branches that is interesting and fun to look at with apples and birds and nests and whatever you want for the season. It's a great formula design, works for me every time. If you're excited about getting prepared for Christmas and you need some more inspiration, check out Florist Review's Christmas Traditions. You can access this book right here on this website by clicking on Bookstore, and you'll find out when you get to it, it's on sale for half price, $14.95, regularly $29.95. So check it out, buy a copy, and get started today. We'll see you next month.